Attending yarn festivals like Rhinebeck can be so overwhelming. You're going to see hundreds of gorgeous yarns and handmade tools and notions and a whole plethora of amazing products from dozens or maybe even hundreds of talented small businesses. And I, for one, got very disoriented and very overwhelmed my first time. So the second time I went in with a plan. I had a list of gifts I knew I wanted to knit or patterns I knew I wanted to make at some point, so that I had an idea of the yarn weights, colors, and quantities that I needed to hone in on to try to rein it in a little bit. I found having such a plan last year super helpful, so I'm going to make a new one for this year, and hopefully some of my strategies can assist you in making your own plan. Let's open up Ravelry. I want to start on Ravelry because I know my queue has some upcoming projects, including some holiday gift knits that I think I would like to pursue for Rhinebeck purchases. We've got some gift knits here, but only one of them I don't have a quantity of yarn for yet, which is this one, the Vest Taipei by Mochi Knits. So I decided that I wanted to make this as a gift for a friend for the holidays, and I probably want to cast this one on first because I usually see this friend before the Christmas holiday. Alrighty, so I've made this little spreadsheet. This is going to be my Rhinebeck shopping list. This first column is going to be the pattern. Second column, I'm going to put yarn weight. And of course, this is a spreadsheet. We can always change it and rearrange them or add columns we didn't think of later. Yardage. Because for some of these, I have a very specific color that I would like to, or color family that I would like to select. So we're going to start by filling in the pattern. Vest Taipei. I'm going to put dark/moody because I think that's what we're going for here, a sort of dark academia cable knit vest. I would go for like black, but I think that then these cables would lose definition. So maybe like sort of deep burgundy color would be really pretty for this. Actually, maybe I'll include that. Burgundy. This is a DK weight pattern. And now let's look at our yardage options. So I think this person would be like a small medium, but I know that she likes to wear like quite oversized things. They recommend 4 to 5.5 inches of positive ease. I believe, based on how this is written here, that the ease is included because it says the vest has approximately so much ease, but it does not specify if this is the garment measurements or the person measurements. Oh wait, this down here is garment measurements, so that must be person measurements. Okay. I'm going to make her the third size, medium large. I want it to be oversized. I don't think that will be too oversized. That's the plan. So for medium large, this pattern, 330 grams. And the suggested yarn is 250 yards per 100 grams. So I'm going to multiply 250 by 3.3, which means we need about 825 yards to make this. There we go. That took a lot of decision making on my part, but I'm glad we sat down to do it. And that one is a gift. So that one I felt like I had to devote a little more brain power to. The others that I am going to put on this list are not gifts. They aren't for me. I know I have 2 that I don't think are on my queue yet. One of them is a test knit that I was just accepted for yesterday and I'm really excited for, but I want to buy some special yarn for it while I'm at Rhinebeck. Just a couple days ago, Wool and Pine opened up their test knit for this gorgeous slipover called the Alchemist Slipover. I am in love with these details. I think it's so pretty and it's so moody and fall in this dark color. So I applied, I was accepted, and I need to purchase some DK yarn to make my Alchemist Slipover. I'm going to put a dark tonal because I do want it to be dark tonal. Or I do want it to be a dark color vibe, but the designer did recommend that we select a tonal yarn rather than like a variegated because then the details of the knit really pop. This one is also a DK. Just from memory, looking at it last night, I believe the yardage I need is 800 yards. I'm going to double check that later, but for now, I'm just going to put in 800 yards because I believe that is correct. And then the other thing I do have to refer back to Ravelry because I know I purchased this pattern, or I should say, I didn't purchase it. I was gifted it in compensation for a test knit, but it is in my library. Here we go. So I recently test knit the seashell tank for S-Knits, Sarah, and as part of the compensation for the test knit, she gives you a code to download one of her other patterns for free, which was really convenient. I didn't know that when I signed up, but I had already had my eye on Allie's sweater. This is one of her most popular designs, but I really love the detail at the top, especially because I have, if you remember the Central New York Fiber Festival that I went to earlier this year, where I got that amazing deal on a bunch of skeins of like gorgeous barber pole hand spun yarn from a yarn dyer hand spinner that was going out of business. So I've got a bunch of single skeins of really, really beautiful color shifting hand spun, and I want to feature them somehow. And I thought Allie's sweater would be such a good choice because I can probably get all of the color work details out of one skein, and if I can't, I can just leave out the contrast at the bottom or find a substitution. But I think that this could be really pretty way to showcase one of those skeins, and I have one of them in particular that I think would be so pretty. So my goal is to buy a main color for this sweater that matches the hand spun that I already have to be able to make the Allie's sweater. So this is also DK. I guess I'm just shopping for DK this trip. That's not true. I think I have ideas. I'm going to put match hand spun. DK. How much do I need? Okay, so I have a 40-inch bust, but they say 6 to 8 inches of positive ease. So I should probably make size 4. I'm generally, when I'm making a knitting pattern, and I know that most designers use kind of standardized sizing options, I am almost always the 4th size, which is often dubbed large, but in this case, they're numbered. So I would make size 4. For main color, I would need 1,200 yards of DK weight yarn. That was easy. I like that they broke it down like that for me. I have another idea that I want to add to my Rhinebeck shopping list, and I want to add the caveat at this point that I am not necessarily planning on going to Rhinebeck and buying 5 garment quantities of yarn. These are mostly ideas. Some of them, like the gift knit, I definitely want to purchase because I want to get started on that. But if I don't find something that I love for the gift knit or the test knit that I'm doing, I know I have local yarn stores that are great. I know I can order something from Knit Picks or from Hobie or a company like that that I think is reliable and great quality and great pricing on their yarn, and get something in time to finish these. I think it's unlikely that I won't find anything that I want to use for those, but in that event, it's not the end of the world. I can order something quite quickly. But that said, the other things are just kind of ideas to jog my memory, because this isn't really about like making a list and sticking to it. This is more about focusing my attentions while I'm at Rhinebeck, because like I said, you are a kid in the world's largest candy store, and there is just so much around you, so many beautiful things, and you're just overwhelmed with inspiration, and it can be so hard to focus and understand which things are actually going to result in projects, which things are going to result in finished objects that you love, and which things are just striking and you're purchasing them on impulse. So, which I did the first year I went, I bought some very gorgeous yarns that I still have yet to find a purpose for because I bought odd quantities, or they're colors that are beautiful in a skein, but I'm not really going to use that or wear that. So this is just to focus my attentions as I'm walking through, be like, okay, maybe that booth is so pretty, but they don't have any DK. I think I'm going to move on, and I can circle back later if I want to, right? And keep in mind the types of color families that I'm looking for. Like if I'm looking for dark tonals for two of these, if a booth is beautiful and they have all this great decay, but it's all pastels, like maybe that's not what I need right now. And it's just to kind of reel it in a little bit and make sure that I have goals in mind. That's not to say that if I'm walking by that booth and I love those gorgeous pastels, I might get one anyway. But the idea is to have an idea ready and something that I'm kind of looking for and focusing on to keep from overspending on unfocused ideas. So that said, another idea that I had was to recreate another sweater that I absolutely love. I don't even have a photo of this in here, but I, in the past, made a sweater from a free pattern. And I remember I used 3 skeins of fingering weight yarn. So this was a while ago, and the photo that I put in the Ravelry page doesn't even have a finished object. It just has a progress photo. But this sweater, ironically, I wear more than any other handmade thing I've ever made. It is a fingering weight stockinette sweater, and I just find it so wearable and so comfortable, and it's easy to layer. So I do want to keep in mind that if I see a fingering weight colorway that I think is amazing and I can't live without, that if I buy 3 skeins of that, I could make a bright side pullover. I'm not going to put anything in for the color there because I don't have any particular goal. I just really like the idea of if I fall in love with a yarn, that's what I would make it into. What size did I make last time? I made size 3. That's what I would make again. I love the one I have. I'm going to put 1200 again. Okay. And then another thing that I'm going to put on here, even though it's not yarn, is that I would love a large project bag. Every time I've gone to Rhinebeck, I am very tempted to buy these beautiful project bags. There are quite a few businesses that are selling like handmade, really, really pretty project bags specifically for knitting projects. And I always love them and I'm always tempted, but they're not inexpensive and they shouldn't be inexpensive. They're handmade, they're custom products, but I do usually end up shying away because of the price. And this year, I think I want to give myself permission ahead of time if I fall in love with a large project bag to get one, because I do primarily knit sweaters or garments, but usually sweaters. And I don't have a lot of project bags that are actually large enough to fit a sweater project. Most of the time, my sweater project bags are just like canvas tote bags. I am giving myself permission if I love a project bag to purchase a larger project bag. Of course, there are going to be other little things that I want to pick up or add on, little decor items or trinkets. But having this list is going to really help me focus on looking for the things that I know that I want to make for this season. All right. So I will print out that list later so that I can take it with me to Rhinebeck. And it's not, I could store it in my phone, but I film a lot of videos at Rhinebeck and I'll probably be filming a lot of the day, run the risk of my phone battery dying. And I also don't want to have to reference it if I'm using my video or my phone for filming a video. So I'm going to print it out to have a copy available to me and keep that in mind while I'm attending all 3 of the Rhinebeck festivals this year. I am so excited. It's always very overwhelming, like I said, but in a good way. It's overwhelming with inspiration and positive emotions and attitudes, and it's a really fun experience if you're able to make it to Rhinebeck. If you're not, stay tuned. I like to upload walkthrough videos that I call my Yarn Tourist series, which are commentary free, just in-person POV walking through a yarn festival that maybe you couldn't attend, or maybe you're thinking about attending in the future and you would just like to check out what it's like. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can check out all the episodes of that I've done in the past. I have a separate playlist of Yarn Tourist videos. And of course, I'll be uploading some new ones in a couple of weeks. I would also like to say, if you are lucky enough to be able to go to Rhinebeck this year and you see me, please do say hello. I love to meet you folks in the wild. It is so nice to get to interact with my viewers in a way that is not just in the comments section. So please do say hello if you see me. I'm looking forward to the festival, to coming home and sharing the videos with you, and to enjoying the cozy fall vibes in the meantime. So thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video club this time. I see you, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Bye.